Good morning. I am out later than normal. It's almost 11 a.m. if you can believe that. I know, lazy. It's almost like I relaxed last night. Anyways, it is September 14th and I'm at the range. I'll give you guys my usual range talk about what I'm working on today, or hoping to anyways. You're probably not seeing it on the camera, but it's raining right now. It's that obnoxious kind of misty stuff that just kind of, you hardly feel, but everything gets wet. So, I haven't set up the paper or anything yet, because that's kind of the stuff that just slowly soaks. High temperature today is estimated to be 71. Back to what I love about the Pacific Northwest. Alright, so I'm out here today, first and foremost, for the Derya Arms Melik. I'm not sure of the pronunciation of it, but a Brennan 92 clone. This is the result of the patrons asking for the Derya Arms DY9. Which is kind of cool. You know, I don't have relations with Rock Island, who's the importer of these new Derya Arms pistols, but bought a DY9 because it was $200 and seemed pretty decent. Did the review, turns out to be a pretty good gun, other than the Crayola-sized sights, and maybe a little bit of a rough trigger, but for $200 you really can't complain. Well, Derya Arms saw that review and liked it, and said, hey, we want you to try one of our Melik, I really need to figure out how these are pronounced. M-E-L-I-K in Turkish. Pistols. And I said sure, because why not? I'm about giving everything a fair shake. I was not a fan of the M9 in the Army. Really didn't like it. In fact, so much so that it wasn't until a guy I had never met before, hadn't heard of before at the time, by the name of Ernest Langdon, was harassing me about trying out his gun several years ago. And I was like, no thanks, man. 15 years in the Army, I don't want anything to do with the Brennan 92. And he kept at it. Good on him, and I'm glad he did, because eventually I went over and gave it a try. Wow. A 92 Elite LTT. The ones from LTT, not the ones from Beretta. Beretta also sells the same parts, but it's not the same massage that LTT does. That is an incredible pistol. In fact, it's going to be one of the guns that changed me episodes here on the second channel. Anyways, that showed me the potential of the platform. I later gave a try to the Girsan Brennan 92 clone. It was okay. I think that video was mostly popular because that was a chrome and gold cartel looking gun. It's alright. Had some finger grooves, had a few other slight variances. This is much more true 92 FS. And I gotta say, and patrons, you guys have already seen the tabletop, the trigger on this is nice. Very smooth. Everything seems pretty good. So I have high hopes for it. I'll be giving it its range review. And then if I have the time, energy, and weather, after that Season 75 roundup, I got to thinking about other variation clone wars. And of course, what's the most common is the Glock 19. I don't know if any of you have watched those videos or seen the results, but I had fun doing that drill. Trying a bill drill and speed group for time, grabbing the gun off a barrel and just going for it. It really refreshed my memory of those guns and told me a lot, because some of them I hadn't shot in 7 years. So that was kind of fun. So I'm going to do the same thing with Glock 19 variants. And I have quite the pile, as you'd assume. I have my original Glock 19. Now, of course, the only thing that's still factory Glock on this is the slide release in the frame. Everything else has been swapped. This was the one that I did all the experimentation on and tried so many different parts, competed with it for a while, took it to training courses, and it was kind of, all the money and time that went into this taught me a lot about pistols, and I'm grateful for that. But it's also what ultimately made me move off of Glocks, was I realized that I was just not going to find what I was looking for with the Gen 3 Glock 19. Obviously, it's been a while, a lot of things have changed. But even though this is mostly aftermarket, it's still a Glock 19, so that'll be in there, of course. And bringing back that Derya Arms DY9 to give it a side-by-side. We've got a Bull Armory hatchet. This is of the newest generation with the different texture to it. To see how it compares. The Lone Wolf Arms Dusk 19, which is probably the biggest difference in grip. Lot done to this, as one would expect. I mean, Lone Wolf spent 20 years making aftermarket Glock parts. They should have an idea what people want. the Palmetto State Armory dagger. Put the windowed slide on it. Of the 2 slides that I've bought for this thing, I've noticed a significant difference with this windowed slide, and since you can buy them complete like this, I think it's a fair comparison. What else do we have? Long forgotten, because they started off with, I think, some bad press for valid reasons. FMK. This is not 100% compatible with Glock, but it's pretty close. They were the first one that I'm aware of to go after the core of the design, but dance around it safely enough to not cause any law issues. They had some serious reliability issues. Those have allegedly been fixed. They've now got a Gen 3 out. They were going to send me one like 6 months ago. Never did. So we've got the Gen 2. This has a rubberized backstrap, which is kind of neat. Feels really good in the hand. And then it's not Glocky, but people think it is, so I figured I'd toss it in, is the Airmox Defense X-Fire. This accepts Glock magazines and Glock barrels. However, it's got a full-length slide, or full-length rails, aluminum frame, quite a bit different with it. I also have a dot on here. Unfortunately, I can't run it with just the irons. There's no co-witness there, so I'm going to have to use the dot. So that'll be a slight unfair advantage, but maybe we'll get interestingly different results with it. Then, if I can, I still really need to get to this Sharps Bros macro-sized grip module. The Sharps Pro grip modules widen the grip out to 1.3 inches, which is the standard width for most compact handguns. You might say, well, what's the point? Isn't it supposed to be a 3.65? Yes, but a lot of people, myself included, with larger hands, or those with smaller hands who just want more surface area on the gun to hold on to, have found that bigger grips are a good thing. So I have the Icarus Precision slide on here, the 4.1 inch, their XXL slide that came out just before SIG released the fuse. And then another one that is kind of also a slow burn, back burn project, because I don't think I put it together right. Finally, someone has grip modules for the Echelon. Just not too long ago I was complaining about the Echelon because I like the gun, I like the platform, I think it has a lot of potential, love that it's modular, and a year has gone by and we've got nothing from Springfield. I don't know if HS Product just never made it or if Springfield's not importing it, but I find it odd that they release the full size, which makes sense. People will buy stuff because it's new. Full sizes are a harder sell. Put out the new full size so it gets bought. Also, so it can be a duty gun. But where's the compact? After a year, I would expect that we'd have different slides or different grip modules for the thing. So far, the only thing that I've seen from Springfield is you can now get the grip modules in different colors, but it's still the same full size. Well, Icarus Precision, friends of ours, did this beauty, their aluminum grip module that has a real thumb rest to it, and all of the great things that you've come to learn or come to love about Icarus Precision from our coverage in the past. I say kind of slow burn because when I put this thing together, I end up with this. And the rear of the slide is sitting significantly higher than the front. I think I must have put the thing together wrong. This is a used grip module. They told me they've already got lots of rounds through it, been running this thing. They just kind of gave it to me as, friend of the channel kind of thing. And I don't know if this is maybe indicative of a potential problem with the COG system that the Echelon uses, but I got it together, but not correctly. And I'm not sure why, and I had to use some convincing. So probably off camera I'm going to be putting some rounds through to see if it settles. Maybe it just wasn't quite fitting right. Now this does have 2 tungsten rods in the back of the grip, adding some extra weight, so it really just camps in the hand. It feels so good. I'm wondering if maybe one of those rods popped up just enough that the the fire control unit doesn't want to sit down. I've tried tapping it gently with a rubber dead blow. That didn't fix it. Now here's the rain, everything wet. So I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on there. That may or may not make it to video, but it's one of those things that you guys asked for behind the scenes. This is what the gun tubing is like. There's a lot more time spent at the range than just what ends up on video. Of course, the shooting review videos, you're seeing every round put through that gun from the first to our concluding thoughts. There's no extra side stuff. But for some of these project type deals, or running things that are in development, or things like that, there's time and ammo spent trying to make sure it's right so that we can give a full story when finally reporting. I can still see the rain, but I don't hear it anymore. Strange. Alright, I'm going to get things set up. If I can remember, I'll give you guys an after brief so you can know, especially patrons, what to expect in your inboxes coming soon. I should be able to knock out that Melik, no problem. The Glock comparison thing is going to take a while. That CZ75 project was a couple weeks of effort just because I had to dig up a lot of stuff. I mean, all the specs, the pricing at all the different retailers, and then putting all that video together. But man, shooting those side by side is a lot of fun. I encourage you guys to try something similar. They don't have to be guns of the same family, but if you've got a couple guns, or you and a buddy go out and have both of you try the same drill with each other's guns and your own guns, and see how, not just what your time is, the time result thing, it's cool, but that's not the point. The point of the timer is to add some stress and push on you, because that's where you might find your little points of frustration. Like I missed trigger stroke on one of the guns, and it wrecked the time. Now, if we just looked at the times, it would look like it was a bad gun. No, that was shooter error, but it was shooter error because I wasn't familiar and comfortable with that trigger stroke. So, fun things. I'm gonna get set up and get shooting. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Sorry, I was packing up and already took my shirt off. Almost forgot to give you guys the after effects. Great range day. Like, I'm in a great mood. It went spectacular. Shot all the things. The Melik, wait till you guys see that video. I love it. Like, it's a lot of fun. I did the Glock showdown with a Glock 19 and 16 Glock akin guns. Doing roughly the same drill that I did with the CZ75s, I was impressed at how much faster I was doing, but then I realized it's because I wasn't grabbing from the barrel and racking the slide like I made myself do in the CZ version. So it's not an apples to apples. But one of those times was sub 5 seconds. And mind you, this is no practice, guns I haven't shot in a while. Up, bill drill, group, 11 shots total, sub 5 seconds. With transitioning and all that kind of stuff. So that should be impressive. I finally did the Icarus Precision slide on Sharps Bros Macro 365 setup. Ran a bill drill with that for time just to see, and I think you guys will be impressed that that grip module, at least for my hands, works really well. And then the big stunner, that Echelon grip module that I was a little concerned about because of the slide sticking, it's now smooth. I put 2 rounds of 124 through it, and that seated everything it needed to seat, and it's like that thing is glued to my hands. What's the difference between the Sharps 365 and the Icarus Echelon? Well, surface area for one. You've got a lot more on the full-size Echelon. Allows a lot more support hand because it's just a bigger, longer grip. But both of those very, very much impressed me. I hope it comes through in video, and I hope the footage shows as great as it feels. But wow. And I wonder if I can show you guys. Let me get behind the camera. That DA Targets reactive color changing target that I've been using is a lot of fun to watch how it reacts to different temperatures, etc. From here, the camera's kind of compensating for it. You can see some faded ones, and you can see some kind of glowing aura-ish ones. As the heat transfers well after the shot, your splash area kind of gets bigger but less bright, and then as it cools off, of course it darkens up again. It was kind of neat. I had to pause for rain a couple times, and during that time, of course, the cool rain coming out of the sky cooled the thing off and the target got dark, like a black cherry kind of color, and then the sun came out and then it went back to red. So if you're interested in getting one of those, they do have different temperature ranges. You may want to talk to them about the temperature range you plan to operate in. I believe this is the 60 to 80 degree, or maybe the 40 to 60. I'm not sure which range I went for because I shoot year round. Now, Oregon's generally cooler than most of the country, and I hate heat, so I don't shoot when it's super hot out. But it has been interesting when I pulled it out of the car after the drive over here when it was about 62 degrees outside. It was dark red. It warmed up once it got in some sunlight. It obviously has yellow splashes from the hits, and then I've seen the entire target kind of change and morph over time. Kind of fun, neat thing, adds some entertainment to it, also makes for hopefully very rapid shot indication. I'm going to be using it for as long as it lasts as my target, not in the main reviews, but in stuff like these grip modules and comparison tests where I'm shooting bill drills and stuff like that. I'm hoping that it provides good visual indication for you guys. We'll see. I mean, it beats the heck out of having to tape the cardboard over and over and over again. But I just don't know if the color change is going to be fast enough for some of those drills. Now, as a hobbyist just at home shooting it, I think it'd be pretty cool. Definitely a fun way to get someone interested, especially if you've got youth. It gives them something to focus on, something to help motivate them. But great range day. Now the clouds are back. You can see I don't have clear lenses on anymore. It was sunny. It's rained. It's been all kinds of stuff happening today. But a lot of good footage that I'm looking forward to putting together for you guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.